So are we back to a buy the dip market, and will stocks continue to climb the wall of worry here? Let's take a look with our daily SPY analysis. Today is Monday, April 14th, 2025. Again, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Again, we're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers here. I've been doing this a long enough time, and hopefully we can get there soon here. I only got about like 50 left. So let's see if we can get there by Easter or end of OPEX week. Anyways, let's get into it here today. Markets up 1% on some news again over the weekend. Tariff kind of walkbacks on chips and phones. Obviously, Apple and semis, kind of the big beneficiaries there. Apple up 2.75 did come off the highs, but to be fair, it gapped right into a resistance zone. I mean, that's where it gapped through a week ago. So buyers trapped there turn into sellers, and you guys get the idea. Same thing with the SMH kind of gapping higher and coming off the highs. But nonetheless, it is a bit of a buy the dip market right now. And I warned about this in the morning video, and we talked about it in the Sunday night video yesterday, is that first thing we're going to look for, we talked about this last week too, first thing we're going to look for this week is, are dealers coming back and getting control of the market? And does the kind of pre-OPEX flow take hold? The answer to that is yes. Look at the VIX here, down almost 20% today. It is getting a small dead cat off the lows, trying to hold the 30 handle. But right now the market has rebounded nicely, and there was lots of tariff rumblings that went on today about walkbacks getting walked back. So like more tariff talk, and that did not take the market down again. So we're seeing a market that's climbing the wall of worry. Why is that happening? Again, put deltas decaying like we talked about. So we're seeing that here, and I don't think this is necessarily a bounce you want to short just yet anyway. The next level, or the big line in the sand, which we talked about for bulls this week, would be 5,500, and we're seeing a lot more. I'm seeing a lot more interest come in at that area. But right now, in the immediate short term, you're going to see here 5,450 SPX. Right, that's been a level. We hit that last week. We backed off, higher low, hit it again, backed off, higher low. So the market's telling us it wants to go through that. And once it does, it can trend up to 5,500. And then, if we can get a significant close above that, that does help the market, especially if it's a weekly close. That does not mean the market's going to go straight up in a straight line forever after that, but it does mean that the bulls wrestle a lot of control back. And if we take a look here at the fibs, you're going to see here, we got a gap fill up there. You've got this old trend line. You've got the previous all-time high up here, going back to July of last year, obviously. And the 618 all in that area around 5,650, maybe 5,700 on overshoot. So we could be seeing that. That doesn't mean it'll happen, in a straight line again. It's OPEX week again. We might just close the week at 5,500, somewhere in that range. But so far, a pretty good day here for the markets. And we tested the gap, we held it. We're getting a little bit of a back off here by the end of the day, but we are basing for a move here. If we are down tomorrow, I would expect that to get reversed by the end of the week. So I'm kind of expecting here we're going to see 5,500 one way or the other. It's just a matter of, do we go up there tomorrow and then back off into the end of the week, or do we back off tomorrow and then push higher? So I just don't really see the market breaking down in any sort of meaningful way. That doesn't mean we can't have a red day, but I don't see it right now. The week after next, or the week after this, that could be a different story. We could see a little bit more weakness hit the tape, but right now I'm not really seeing too much of it. So that's kind of what we're expecting here, to keep it short and sweet. Triple Qs here, again, very, very much the same. So again, looking intraday, you can see it's 465. We talked about that level being, very prominent this morning from dealers, and you can see that was actually almost the exact high of the day. So that's your clear line in the sand. If you push through 465, I mean, there's really not much up until the gap here. So that's almost all the way up at 480. That would certainly be a nice recovery for the market. IWM's got a lot of interest at 190. Through that, I think it can get back up into this breakdown area around 197. There'll be a little bit of a pivot there at 195 as well. And then the diamond here, continuing, made a nice higher high today, and similar price action. That was the first to get back to the low pivot from the 13th, and which makes sense because it was also the least underperformed. But yeah, good price action here for the most part, and I would say that this is a good basing day for the market overall. Where I would get concerned, just for a short term, is back below this trend line. I mean, we traded below it today. It didn't really like follow through, but back below that, and really like 53.80. So again, I've talked to you guys about that level being important, and there it is. Back below that would indicate that we're probably headed lower, at least in the near term. So that's just an immediate short-term level there. SMH here, flat to positive. Like I said, a lot of things gave back gains that were up big, but we had for the most part, a pretty broad-based rally. That's just about 90% up day right there. And market about to close here. So there's the bell. And yeah, closing up 30 cents on the SMH IGV. Again, you guys know the line in the sand if you've been watching the channel. Right there. Boom. Previous all-time high. And I mean, look at the intraday. Right there. Boom, boom. 89.50 to $90. But structurally, again, like I said, this looks fine, right? High, pullback, higher low, pullback, higher low, looks like. Maybe we're down tomorrow. We can put in another one. Just, we could go down to 52.50 and put in a higher low there. But so far, that's kind of the case here. And that's what bulls want to see. Transports here had a good day. So again, a lot of the same pattern on a lot of things. Big outside move, and we got a 1, 2, 3 base there. So see if you can push this week. Interest rates came down pretty much across the board. That also helped out with the market getting a bid, right? Especially on the long end. So TLT getting a bid, 30-year back below, or just at 4.8, 10-year back below 4.5, big psychological level for the market. TLT, nice bounce. And that is acting well here, at least for now. Again, I was a buyer of bonds on Friday. Not for the long term, but I think we could see a little bit of a counter trend move here. XHB up 59 cents. Again, nice pop there. Got to reclaim 97.50. VNQ was very strong today. I was impressed with REITs. 2% gain, and you got higher highs. So that's more than the Qs and the spiders can say right now. So a little bit of outperformance there, at least in the short term. And it's got to hold above this 85, 25, 85, we'll call it 25 area here. And then you got, the gap window and then the fill right up there at 88. So good balance for real estate. XLF up 1% as well, trying to reclaim the 200. Couldn't quite do it, but it may try to do that here over the next couple of days to week. KRE up 1.75. KBE, almost the same exact gain. Broker dealers higher highs there too. So banks trying to recover as well. Oil here held up. Again, so this is kind of positively correlated with the market right now, right? The market's looking at rates, looking at oil as a positive if they're, let's look at bonds and oil going up together as a positive, which is not usually what you see, but right now I think that is. Oil up means less fear of recession, and then bonds up just means that our bond market is not crashing, which is a real fear right now. I like this pattern on oil. I think this is poised for a retest of 65, 66 here. XLE, again, little, I don't want to call it a gap and crap, but it did close green, but it came pretty far off the highs here. Same thing with XOP. That one closed flat, as did OIH. Nat gas down 5%. So kind of in danger. And I guess it technically lost that inside bar there on Friday. This still has space here. I would just be neutral on it right now, though. We'll see what that does there. Dollar was pretty much, I think it was down a little bit today, but it did not make a new low. That's your big positive. That's basically an update for the dollar now. It's not making a new low. A reclaim of 100 could maybe get us a little bit of a squeeze. Reclaim of that September low as well. So dollar not going up with bonds bouncing, obviously a concern right now. And then you've got gold inside day. No real sell signal though. It didn't get to 3. I was really hoping for it to get to 300 Friday. I just didn't get there, and I did not pull the trigger on a short. I'd just be careful shorting gold here. On paper, there's a lot of things saying it should be going down or it should be getting ready to top. But I've seen these things work out here. This can go parabolic. And what really, like, GDX is telling me that that's a possibility. Because that gap on Friday, I wrote a whole article on this if you're interested. It's only like a 5-minute read. But it's on the website right there. And again, it's not a prediction. I'm not calling for 4,000 gold by June, but I could see a scenario where it happens. And that would just be kind of like a blow-off move. If you look at gold here, this right here, 2,600 to my target of 3,100 by March is a 24% gain. Well, 24% from here is 4,000. So it's not like it can't happen by the end of the quarter. Again, not predicting it. I thought gold would have topped out right around here, and there's still a scenario where this is just like a top, and then like boom, an exhaustion move, and then that's the top. It's OPEX week 2. A lot of the time, gold historically, except recently, but it used to get slammed during OPEX week a lot. But we get GDX gapping down and then closing green. GDXJ making a new high. You see what I'm saying here? It should be going down, and it's not. So maybe shorts just cause this thing to go vertical. Again, there's positioning is not bad on this. I think there's more people trying to fade it than there is actually people. Like, trust me, I traded through 2010, 2011. This is not euphoria in gold. It's not even close. We're not even anywhere near. Like, you guys don't understand what it was like then. Like, there was gold miner stocks that were complete junk, just going 300-400%. Just for no reason. That's euphoria. This is not. So, again, not saying it happens, but the thing that people think can't happen the most is the thing that usually does happen. Like when I said Apple would go to, 250 a year ago, and people are like, there's no way, that's impossible, Aaron. Or SPX is going to go to 6,100 back when we were, up here or back here. The thing people can't expect usually is what happens. But anyway, enough of that sermon here. Silver up 1%. Again, monthly chart is still intact. So maybe it does go to 38 after all. We'll have to see where it closes the month. I just thought, I don't know. I think you got a lot of supply up here. I just think it's going to take time. Platinum up nicely. Palladium up 5% as well. So a nice pop there. Copper up as well. Man, I wish I just bought some down here. I just didn't want to use leverage into the overnight, but nice move there for copper, up 3 1/3. And then we got Bitcoin lastly, which held up pretty well all day long. So no problems there, and that that held the gains over the weekend. So not terrible. I still, by the way, a lot of people are bearish, but it's a bear flag. Again, I told you guys I don't trust bear flags above the 50 moving average, but furthermore, let's go to chart school here. What kind of pattern is this on the monthly? I mean, like, it's not the cleanest, but you could easily make this case, right? You know how easy it is to just make that case? It's just this over again. Zoom out. Helps you. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, again, markets here. Let's take a look at the futures. Yeah, so we're getting a little dip here. We got the dip into the close, but yeah, we got a pretty nice base here, I think now. And if they want to trend it tomorrow, I think they can. If we do pull back tomorrow, though, I think we'll come back up by the end of the week and try to hit that 5,500 area. So I'm thinking that's going to get at least tested one way or another. If we close above it, especially if we get a Friday close, or I should say, I mean, the futures could close above because the futures will be open Friday. But if we get a Thursday close of the cash above that, that would certainly be a positive for bulls moving forward. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I will see you guys all tomorrow.